So what's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world? Austin John Plays here, and today we're going to be continuing doing some shrine hunters. Let's get underway with the Eldin shrines. So for Eldin Tower, there's going to be 9 shrines that we're going to be going after. Eldin Tower is found right here, pretty much at the base of Death Mountain. If you've been following my guides, you have Akala Tower over here, and you probably did Woodland Tower over here. It's directly in the middle of the two. Before you try to make your way into the entire Death Mountain area, you may want to consider picking up some fireproof stuff. You could get 3 fireproof elixirs from the Foothill Stable for a pretty decent price. And right next to the Foothill Stable is going to be the Keet Shrine, right on the edge of Sifla Lake. So the Keet Shrine is found pretty much directly out in the open. It shouldn't be hard to get to at all. Oh look, there's a blood moon. Wow, that's a picture. That's a pretty cool, that might be the coolest thing I've taken a picture of. Those are my blood moon sounds. So this shrine is going to be metal makes a path. And first thing, watch out for that giant boulder. And if you take out a bomb arrow, you can shoot right up here and release a chest. Next, we're going to make our way up the first ramp. If you don't make it in time, use stasis on that giant boulder. Next, we're going to make our way on up the second pathway. Use magnesis on this giant metal boulder to avoid it from hitting you and killing you. And at the top of the stairs, you get an item. Great. So still with your giant metal boulder, use it right there to prevent that giant boulder from hitting you. And we're going to make our way on over to the last area. Just place it down in the pathway. Make sure you hold down. That way it doesn't accidentally come up off to the sides. And then use up on the D-pad to make sure that you can push the boulder far away from you. If done correctly, you should now have all the giant boulders and the metal boulder here in the last room. Or area, not room. Just try to not block the altar like I did. But here's the altar. Great. From the Keet Shrine and the Foothill Stable, you're going to be able to make your way on the other side of this big old mountain over here to this shrine, the Muhl Shrine. This shrine can be a little hard to find if you're not looking in the right place. So typically, only if you're here in the Trilby Valley and you make your way on up this way can you stumble across it, or if you happen to come off of the mountain over here. This trial is called Passing the Flame. As soon as you enter, you can use a bomb, fire arrow, or bomb arrow in order to break down these boxes and the leaves in front of them. In the second room here, you're just going to use a bomb on these barrels, and that's going to give you access to the Shrine Orb. However, if you want the items of the area, there's a couple things we're gonna do. One, there's a chest on top of these barrels. Just explode these barrels. Right here, you can't use a bomb to ignite the leaves, so you're gonna need to use an arrow. And that's gonna drop a key right onto the floor. Just use magnesis and pull it over the bars in order to get it. You can then open up this door and make your way on inside for the second chest. Right before you make your way on to the Shrine Orb, something that I just found, if you bomb right there, you get rid of all those crates and the leaves, and you get your last third chest, which is a Stone Smasher. With all that said and done, make your way on over to the Shrine Orb. For our next shrine, we're going to make our way just north of Foothill Stable and the Keet Shrine. This is going to bring you to the Dahaj Shrine. This one is found pretty much right out in the open at the end of the lake. However, you're most likely just going to jump down from higher ground right up here. This is going to bring us to the Power of Fire. For this one, you can take an arrow, light it right here, and shoot the leaves. That's going to ignite pretty much the entire room. Make sure to not burn yourself. That's going to reveal some crates that are also going to be burned away. And inside of here, you're going to find yourself a Guardian Scout. For this room, simply just throw a bomb at it. That also totally works too. Oh, I guess you could also shoot the rope above it. And then, yeah, okay, so that's the way it's supposed to be done. Great. In our last room, first, we're gonna need to burn all these leaves to get the chest up there. You can do that by setting your arrow on fire, shooting the leaves, and that'll drop your chest down. And now to activate that switch, we can either use magnesis on the metal chest that we just got, put it onto the other side, and put it on top of the switch. Or you could do it the much more difficult way, which is setting that on fire by shooting down that lantern. And then also shooting down this lantern. That'll ignite both of these boxes, causing them to hit the switch. Or I pretty much just made a seesaw. Great. Oh, by the way, that opens up the switch for the room for your shrine orb. So you're all done here. For our next shrine, from the Eldin Tower, we're just going to head directly west of it, and you're going to find the Raym Shrine, which is a balanced approach. Because this is going to be at low land, surrounded by a whole bunch of lava, you're going to need to float from a higher up area down here, that way you don't burn to death. Also, if you haven't gotten flame-proof armor before coming here, that might be a mistake. You can get the Flame Guard armor from Goron City, which is all the way over here. But if you haven't progressed that far yet, then yeah, you're pretty much going to be relying on those fireproof elixirs that you got from the Foothill Stable. If you need to make more throughout this entire area, you can find these small flame salamanders. I forgot what those are called, but yeah, you cook those with some monster parts and you get flame-proof elixirs. Inside of here, we're going to find a balanced approach. For this one, you're going to make your way to the opposite side of the room, light an arrow on fire, and you're going to shoot down that barrel right there. Well, not shoot it down, but catch it on fire. That's going to lower this area over here. Inside of this chest, you're going to get a small key. That key is going to open up this door over here. Next, we're going to use magnesis, and we're going to put it on top of here. Next, we're going to use the metal blocks to make our way on top of this pedestal right here. And doing that, you're going to take this metal block and you're going to put it on this far pedestal over here. And that's going to get you your chest. And then lastly, to get to the shrine orb, you're going to want to put one block and stand on this pedestal. And then we're going to put 2 blocks on that pedestal. Having the 1 block next to you is super important, because if you don't, then you're just going to get killed because you're going to be squashed in spikes like Sonic the Hedgehog. Now you can take care of these big old blocks by putting down a bomb on that corner. And you're good to go get your shrine orb. Fantastic. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, if you need a piece of the Flamebreaker armor, there's a side quest you can do in the southern mine. I think it gets you the pants or the chest, one of those two. But yeah, you get him 10 fireproof lizards, and then at the southern mine, you get a free piece of that armor. And that armor's pretty expensive. Next, we're going to be making our way to 2 shrines that are pretty much a little bit south of Goron City, and from Eldin Tower, directly north. The first one, right next to the Gorae Tunnel, this is going to be the Karya Shrine. For this shrine, it's going to involve a shrine quest right here at the Gorae Tunnel. At the end of Gorae Tunnel, you're going to find a Goron. He's going to tell you he doesn't have the strength to mine away or do something like that, and then his brother's going to show up, and he's going to talk to him about stuff, and basically, he's hungry. He's being a little wuss because he's hungry. This requires you to get a rock roast all the way back to this cave. Now, this is a little bit easier said than done. For this, you're going to need to make your way straight on down here to the very bottom to Gottram Cliff, and then this small lava lake over here. There's going to be a whole bunch of enemies along the way. Be sure to take care of them before making your way all the way to the bottom of the lake. And then here, you're going to find the food that we need, quote-unquote food. It's just rocks all put together. Your mission is now to take this rock roast all the way up to the cave that you were just in. In order to do that, you're going to need to make your way past all these giant boulders and these moblins. Your best bet is to make your way onto one pedestal at a time, and then take care of them one by one. Either by shooting arrows directly at them. Oh, that boulder took care of one for me. That's fantastic. Once you make your way all the way into the cave with the rock roast, they're going to cook it, I guess. Also, I'm not too sure why it needs to be on top of fire, considering anything you put on the ground is going to immediately burst into flames. You're going to get to see a really unique animation as far as this rock roast being cooked, and now it's a flaming rock roast. Somehow he smells that burnt rock, and he takes care of opening up your way into the shrine. And if that wasn't enough, now you also have a shrine to take care of, Greedy Hill. Now this one is, it's pretty interesting. Once you make your way on up, you're going to notice that these giant boulders just kind of fall on down. And then these little spiky guys just fall on down. And the more you progress up, the more spiky guys and the more little boulders you're going to deal with. As you make your way on up, you're going to notice that there's sometimes some rupees that fall. And when you first start off, there's only going to be blue ones or green ones and pretty much not worth your trouble. You're also going to get a chest right here. However, the higher up you get, you're going to notice that there's usually one way that's going to be clear, and you're going to get some much better rupees. Once you make your way all the way to the top, turn around and glide on down to this chest right here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to bring you to your shrine orb. Our next shrine is going to be pretty much directly north of this. This is going to be the Dahaj shrine. This one is found right in the open, right below this pathway that brings you to the Bridge of Eldin. So, shouldn't be too hard to get to. Once you make your way on inside, this is going to be called Stalled Flight. Stand on this platform, use your paraglider to make your way on top of this giant rock over here. And now, we wait till it projects us into the air. And we glide on down to our chest. Next, we're going to glide on back over to where we just were. Get your stasis rune ready. And then right at that is at the top, and then it makes the electricity conduit activate. You're going to glide down inside for your shrine orb. This one is pretty easy to do once you know what you're doing. It looks like he's looking at the icon. That's funny. Our next shrine that we're going to be going to is right from Goron City. And this one is the Shea Mosa Shrine. You're probably going to get this one as being your fast travel point for Goron City in general. Here at the Shea Mosa Shrine, this is going to be Swinging Flames. As soon as you make your way on inside, you can fire a fire arrow directly at these leaves, or look up and shoot down that lantern, which is then going to ignite all the leaves and drop this chest down to the ground. You then pick it up and put it on top of that switch right there. Or if you have a really heavy weapon that you don't want, you just leave it on that switch and that takes care of it for you. By the way, that's a nice little way to get around most things. In our next room, there's going to be 3 Guardian Scouts. I recommend taking care of those before you try anything else. We're going to find a chest in this corner right here. And then you're also going to find a chest in the corner right at the room as soon as you come in. As soon as you get on top of the ramp, you're going to find a switch right here that releases a lantern. Now you could use magnesis on this lantern, put it up against the leaves. That's going to drop the metal ball down. And you're going to want to use stasis on that metal ball. Now you're going to run to the very end of the area as fast as you possibly can and step on this switch at the end. That's going to open up this gate so that the ball can come down casually and activate this giant spinny thing. Next, we're going to make our way on up to where the top of the ramp was. Next, you could use this switch to get these lanterns down and burn these leaves, or just simply make your way on over and throw a bomb at that platform. And that's going to bring you to your shrine orb. Fantastic. Now from the Shea Mosa Shrine, if you look right here, you're going to see a whole bunch of railroad tracks, honestly. You could grab onto one of these mine carts and take this all the way to the very, very end of all of these tracks, past the lake, all the way here to the Isle of Rabak. And that is going to bring you to the Sora Ha Shrine. So as soon as you enter the shrine, you're going to find this big bad boy. You got to kind of use your magnesis and not die. When you first enter the shrine, this flame is not going to be illuminated. So what we're going to do, we're going to make our way over to the right and we're going to use magnesis on these 2 platforms to create a path. By the way, if you want that chest, all you need to do is just move these out of the way a little bit more and move them over one by one. So right here, you're going to find a torch. You could use a torch or any wooden weapon that you have. And we're going to use this torch and make our way on back to illuminate this flame, which is going to open up our doorway. From here on out, these sprouts are going to be putting out a whole bunch of water. You're going to make your way past them. This third one is going to be very difficult. You're probably going to need to use stasis on it and then run by. For me, I needed to use stasis and then also a speed up elixir. For your next flame, you're going to take out your bow and arrow, and you're going to shoot an arrow of this blue flame directly to this moving pedestal right here. You could also use magnesis to avoid having that giant spiked ball, you know, knock you over to your death. Now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take the blue flame from this elevating platform over here to the other side of this area. But there's some guardians, so you may want to take care of them first. Once those guardian scouts are dealt with, take out your torch. We're going to head on up the passageway, and we're going to light all the flames in this area. This one, followed by these last three. In order to do these last two, first you're going to use stasis on one of them. You're going to light up that torch, and then you're going to light up the last torch. Bring your blue flame over to here. Now this is just going to be a matter of doing a whole bunch of archery. Going to be able to take out the blue flame, light up those torches. From here you could also reach the ones in the back, and that should make your passageway pretty clear. Alright, so from here we're going to use stasis on that sprout, and we're going to use magnesis on that guy. Bring it all the way over to the other end, and we're going to use magnesis on this chest in order to get it. You could use your blue flame to ignite all the leaves that the guardian scouts are standing on, and then they just kind of all die off. Pretty fun stuff. Bring your blue flame past that area where all the guardian scouts were, and that's going to bring you to our last area where all you need to do is a spin attack, and you got this. That should open up your passageway in order to get your spirit orb. And for our last shrine is going to be directly north of Death Mountain, right here at Gutcheck Rock. This is going to be the Gorae Torr shrine. This is probably a little bit easier to come by if you're coming from Akala and the Ancient Tech Lab. Or if you completed the quest line, you could actually just teleport to the Divine Beast and glide on over to Gutcheck Rock. In order to do this, you're going to need to make your way on up this entire rock while collecting 100 rupees. Now obviously you don't want to prioritize the green ones, you want to go for the blue ones and especially the red ones. If you have a lot of stamina, this makes it a lot easier. Also, if you have the climbing gear, also much easier. Once that's complete, it's going to open up the Gorae Torr shrine. This is going to be a blessing shrine and get you a great frostblade. Great. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, all of the shrines in the Eldin Tower region. If this was helpful, be sure to drop a like. Also, I'm going to be leaving a comment down below with which area you want to see me tackle next. Until next time, Austin John out. Be sure to like this video and subscribe. I'm going to be giving you guys lots of helpful videos in the next following days and weeks. Till next time, Austin John out.